I just decided to scrap my biggest video ever, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. In around December, I think, I had a cool idea for a video where I was going to recreate old Gorilla Tag, and I was really excited to do this video, but I didn't realize how hard this video would actually come to be. So for the next month or two, I'd be working on this project, and I just get more and more demotivated as I work through it. From the start, I get the idea, which was to recreate about 3 updates from really old Gorilla Tag, like 2022, 2021 era. So I was gonna recreate the slide beta update, the OG spring update, and probably the fall update or Halloween update from 2022, like that one with all the green pots and stuff like that. So that was the first plan for the video. I only really planned stuff, and I was gonna have this really emotional ending to it and a really emotional story overall, but I'll get to why I didn't really like that later. So anyways, I keep storyboarding throughout the rest of December and January, and it gets to early January where I actually start working on the video. Now, before I started anything, I wanted to make sure I had the thumbnail done, so I'll put on screen what I had for the thumbnail. I had 2 other ones planned out for backups, but honestly, the first one just looked way better. I don't even want to show the old one I made because it looked so bad, it's not even funny. But anyways, once I had the thumbnail done and stuff like that, I instantly got to working on the Unity project, which I actually ripped from an old Gorilla Tag version using SteamDB, which this was a pain to do at first, but it took me like 30 minutes. But when I used the Gorilla Tag Unity project, it ended up being a way bigger mistake than I thought it would be. So for Gorilla Tag maps, creating them in the virtual stump, you use an example map that has every asset, every script, everything like that. But since I ripped the Gorilla Tag version, it was a different Unity project, so it didn't have anything on it. So I decided to just take the folder of the custom map example, and I just imported the folder. So this created a lot of bugs, which destroyed the textures of everything, and all the scripts weren't actually loading correctly. So for a total of 6 hours of work, I spent my entire weekend just trying to figure out what was causing all these bugs to happen, and I learned that it was something to do with my lighting setting, because Gorilla Tag uses a third-party light baking software called Bakeify. Actually, it's not called Bakeify, it's called Bakery, I think. But either way, I didn't realize that in the map descriptor, I had to change the setting, and I'm not even lying. I spent over an hour and a half trying to figure out what was wrong, and I didn't realize that Gorilla Tag used Bakery. So I set it to alternative, and I was able to export the map after an earlier bug, which was because of some sort of game object or empty being null, which means that it's not an actual object. Put something into a certain field if there's too many objects. Like, all of the Gorilla Tag forest is put into one empty game object, so there isn't every single object that's separate, all bundled up everywhere, unorganized in a Unity project. So I spent hours trying to figure out why one of the game objects was set to null and it was stopping me from exporting the map. This hole right here had a certain game object attached to it, so I put it into a new game object and removed the old one. Even after this, more problems showed up, which was the lighting settings that I was talking about earlier. So all of this stuff just had to do with me being on the Gorilla Tag Unity project. So what I ended up doing was I removed everything that had to do with any multiplayer or any OpenXR or Photon or anything like that. I removed all that from the map and I made it only objects, and I took the game object scene and I just imported it into the custom map example. So I had to redo every single texture and everything like that. Again, this took me so many hours to do that it was slowly demotivating me and wearing me out. And if you want to know why I wasn't uploading for any of the time that I was gone, it was mainly this video. All the planning and stuff like that, I think I was going for too high of a quality video, and I don't feel like it was me. I had a bunch of filler videos that I ended up uploading. I still really wanted to do this video because I felt like it was something that would have done good. I ended up thinking differently later on. I'm actually gonna show you guys what hours of work ended up getting me. So after so long, OG Gorilla Tag slide beta, remember, I was supposed to make 2 other ones of these, but I went through all these problems with just one map. So look at this. Once you load in, there's a little bit of broken stuff over here because this is 0, 0. This is where normally you should have your game object at 0, 0, but something with the Gorilla Tag map makes it to where it's in a weird spot. I don't know why it's over here, but it is. Let me first show you something else. So with this Gorilla Shirts mod, my friend Script made this really cool thing. I go to old model. These are old Gorilla Tag models. So if I put this on and I show you my camera, I am the old Gorilla Tag model from like 2021, 2022. He just took an old Nacho Engine model from Blender and imported it into Gorilla Shirts, and he did my exact color code and it looks so nice. Come over to this. I'm gonna go up here first. no colliders actually work. It's probably something to do with the old Gorilla Tag version again, so I ended up taking, I think, one last picture, and I put it on my community post, but I knew that I didn't really want to do this anymore, because it took me so long to do this, and I knew that it wasn't the type of style I was going for. So yeah,